We talked to Collins Chitiabai. The meteorological department had told us about heavy rains. The rains are upon us, and the planting season. It's time now to have a plan in regards to that, and that's what Collins wants to tell us. Collins, give us further details.
Yeah, very true, Waiga Maura. It started raining yesterday here in Trans Nzoia County, giving nod to farmers to start preparing their farms for the next planting season. Today I have a chance to speak to Trans Nzoia Governor, who intends to give us a brief on how they intend to make farmers, to cushion farmers from high cost of production this planting season, considering the fact that during last year planting season, farmers got a lot of losses because of fall armyworm and also dry spell. Mr. Governor, can you tell us, yesterday you distributed Mavuno fertilizer and immediately it started raining. Was it a coincidence?
It was a very good coincidence that God launched the rains yesterday, and I also launched the fertilizer yesterday. Usually the rains do not come at this time. We expect them from the mid-month. Our plans were that we get the subsidized county fertilizer to the farmers in good time so that they can plant. Now, you've talked of high costs of production to the farmers. We basically produce maize here, but we are trying to diversify. I'll concentrate on maize production. Maize production is very, very unprofitable to the small-scale farmers in Trans Nzoia. The cost of production of maize is 1,700 shillings per bag. Now, the market prices are usually 2,000, sometimes 1,700, which means the profit margin to the farmer is hardly there or is very narrow. Now, farmers incur costs. Us as a county government, we intend to support farmers to reduce and manage the costs. How are we doing this? I want to look at it from two perspectives: cost reduction and improvement in productivity. The two have to go hand in hand. Cost reduction, we look at the main inputs in agriculture, which is fertilizer. We have been subsidizing fertilizer over the last 4 years, in addition to what the national government subsidizes. The difference between my program in the county and the national government is that we normally sample and test the soils of Trans Nzoia, and we make orders that specifically target the deficient minerals in our soils, and the fertilizer produced by Mavuno is branded Trans Nzoia, and it has worked very well. One of the main components that we normally insist must be within the fertilizer is the lime. Why the lime? All our agricultural land in Trans Nzoia, the land is acidic because of monocropping and using DAP fertilizer for too long. It has caused very high soil acidity and a hard pan in our soils. Now, what the lime in Mavuno fertilizer does is it reduces the acidity, and hence productivity starts going up. When I came into the office, the average production of a small-scale farmer was 15 bags per acre. When I was growing up, the average was 30. Now, through this program that we've done, notwithstanding the adverse weather, we have moved this average to 25. Our intention was to teach farmers, work with them, so that we can reach 30 or 35 bags. Then farmers will not feel the high cost of production because their profit margin will be higher. Instead of getting 15 bags per acre, you can get 30 bags per acre, so you'll have a very good margin to play with. That's the first side. And on this aspect, I have asked the national government that we work together and we have a national liming program. All our land resource in this country, in the agriculture area, they are acidic. With acidity, productivity drops no matter how much fertilizer you put. I can elaborate on that further another day. Now, that's why yesterday I launched the Mavuno fertilizer. Coincidentally and happily for me, the rains were also launched yesterday. So I'm asking our farmers to do early planting. Early planting helps to increase the yields for up to 10-15%. So for farmers who are going to do early planting, who will get their inputs in time, then the productivity will increase. But I'm also asking our colleagues, Ministry of Agriculture, we have a bigger program of subsidizing farmers. The fertilizer that remained last year is the one that is available. The new fertilizer has not arrived. Now, if it arrives after it has rained or mid-March or in April, it's of no help to us. We want the fertilizer to come in good time. But not only the fertilizer, I'm saying the right fertilizer at the right time, at the right price for our farmers. That is what is going to cushion our productivity. Now, while fertilizer subsidy brings down the price of fertilizer, it also helps to increase the yields. So the margin to the farmer will improve. But more important to me, as a country, we need to change the way we do our agriculture. With climate change now, we have to be smart the way we do agriculture. I want the country to adopt conservation agriculture, which allows more water to percolate into the soils, rather than this big runoff that we are having. That way, productivity can also increase by 30%. I have bought machinery here. We are having demonstrations with farmers. I intend to increase the machinery so that we can revolutionize.
Well, our Collins Shitiabai talking to the governor of Trans Nzoia and just getting further thoughts on the plans for the county in terms of the planting season. Let's now